At 20,000 square feet, Lark Toys in Kellogg, Minnesota is one of the biggest family-owned and operated toy stores in the entire country.
In this week's eyepiece, photographer John Schmidt takes us to a workshop where the creative minds at Lark Toys are hard at work.
When you say to people, I run a toy store or come to the toy store, it's very, very difficult to describe or really get across what people are going to encounter when they're here.
Well, and I think that's one of the appeal of Lark, is that it seems like the most unlikely thing in the most unlikely of places. People come from all around to marvel at this thing that in reality shouldn't exist. But the philosophy has always been that embracing this kind of lost art, the handmade, not the battery-operated blinking light kind of toy store.
Tim, our toy maker, has been here for 29 years. So that was how Lark started initially, with the manufacturing of the pull toys and puzzles. And they were sold to retail stores throughout the country for many, many years. But after a time, they focused solely on selling them and making them here while they were carving the carousel and kind of building up the store to be more of a destination.
Here we thought, we're in a magical toy store, why not have magical creatures too? And it's always kind of been odd. It's a little shocking to some people. They don't know what to make of it, but I think as it comes together, we see the finished pieces. These sort of intermediate stages tend to be can be a little creepy, but when they're finished, they're going to be adorable, and they're going to be able to convey a lot of emotion and tell a story on their own. And even though these guys are fun and silly and playful, we think that it's also a way to convey some values that we hold dear. Family, friends, setting aside your differences, setting aside your worries for a little while just to play and relax.
There's so much life and fun to be had in puppets and in creatures, and so bringing them into the store is a whole nother conversation piece for folks.
We've been brainstorming this idea for a long time and knowing that we wanted to tie it into the local geology, and so we started with Raoul, our river giant. If we get a chance to see him, he used to live on the shores of the Mississippi River, and he was surrounded by beauty and this wonderful flowing river, and recognizing a similar energy at Lark Toys, this wonderful flow of people coming through, this very peaceful energy, and so he feels at home here, and we wanted to expand on that. Well, what other kind of creatures would feel at home here? What does their world look like? There's no end to the types of creatures that we can imagine.
And with these creatures too, it's just wonderful fodder for conversation, and if we can really develop their story, some of the features that bring them together, that make them a unified tribe, we can all learn from that.
And that's kind of what we want to do. That's what we've always tried to do here, is more than just a store. It brings people together of all different races, nationalities. We all see the commonalities that we love our kids, we love to laugh and play, and we really emphasize that here.
I gotta take my kids there. Yeah. That looks amazing.
It's really those toys that are old school, that kind of quality.
Yeah.
From way back when.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they said, not the battery lights and all that. Yeah. Well, right now there are only a few of the so-called blufflings you saw in that piece because Scott builds them by hand.
But if you do look closely, you can spot a few of them around the store already.